guys, we are here with Zoro this afternoon. So Zoro started training with us a few days ago. It was a holiday weekend and everything, so we are really just starting to get into the basics of pressure and release the last few days and everything. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of an update on how well Zoro is doing after just a few days of really just conditioning him to the slip lead, even just going out for potty walks, getting him to understand that regardless if we're in a heel or just taking a stroll or going to the bathroom, that we only move forward when there's no pressure on our leash. Now, people in general, it's very common that we overuse pressure with a leash, and our dogs actually become very confused. So, Zoro's parents told me that he tends to put on the brakes really hard if he doesn't want to move somewhere. Now, I would say 90% of the time, what people will do is try to pull their dog to start moving with them. When in reality, all you're doing is confusing your dog by saying that pressure means I want you to move, right? So we're actually conditioning our dogs to move forward when there is pressure and telling them this is when I want you to move. But really what you would want to do in that instance is release pressure and do things that are encouraging to him, like, Zoro, yeah, good boy. Good job, handsome. Right, doing things like that to get him excited to move with me rather than him having to just be pulled through a situation that is making him nervous. So we've walked all the way up the street together. You saw how nice he's doing. So right away, now that I gave him, you saw as soon as I started upping my tone and my voice and everything, he got really excited. So that's another important thing to understand, is that your puppy is going to match your energy. If you get really excited, they're going to get really excited. If you're constantly saying, good job, good boy, good job, then all you're doing is getting them worked up when your goal is to keep them calm and focused and relaxed. So when we teach them pressure and release, what we're doing is we're not telling them to do a sit. We're applying pressure until our dog's butt hits the ground, and then pressure releases. You're going to notice I never say the word sit when I do this, unless I'm very early into the conditioning stages and I'm kind of helping them. But after they have learned it, so you can see he's been just doing this a few days, and he's already starting to understand really well that the only way pressure goes away is when I calm down. We don't know that's happened as humans until we see a physical change in our dog that we understand that means they have now gone into a more submissive pose and into a calmer state of mind. So he sits and pressure immediately releases, and then I can take the first step forward. If he's here when we start moving, you're already giving him the lead, right? You can see I moved back. He's got no one to watch, and he's already doing his own thing, right? If I just do this and I move forward a little bit, right there, get the mail truck, okay. Scooch over. Good boy. So even here right now, just encouraging, good boy, showing him that even though a mail truck is coming by, that he can remain calm. And not by getting him worked up, but by using a communication tool that he's now beginning to understand a lot easier than using verbal cues. Dogs don't speak English. We don't speak bark. So it's really very difficult to get your dog to listen to you consistently with just verbal cues, right? So using a pressure and release system is now how you're going to communicate with him, right? So you have pressure on, pressure off. You can use spatial pressure by turning pressure on and turning pressure off. And then as he gets older and a little bit more consistent and understands all of these commands a lot easier, then you can start doing off-leash communication by using an e-collar, which should only be used once your dog understands what all of the commands mean. And it's just to overlay, and you have a way to communicate by saying Zoro, and then if he doesn't listen, you can say Zoro or Zoro, but with your button. So it's not used as a way to shock your dog, and if you do that, you're going to fear motivate. But that's besides the point. That's not something that we're actually going to be adding to his program right now. But, in the future, if, that's something, he could probably be a really good candidate for that. So, yeah, we just have the mail truck is just right there. So I'm just kind of working on calm behavior with him, showing him that he can be calm in situations that are a little overwhelming, right? I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm not saying, yeah, so watch. Zoro, yes, good job, buddy. Way to go. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Look at the difference in him. Pressure's on. He's whooping out, right? If I just get him to sit and turn that pressure off, give him calm pets, calm tones. I'm not getting all worked up. Look at the difference in him, right? So he's going to match your energy. Now we're going to start slowly walking by. Takeoffs are also really important because if he starts moving and just immediately takes off, he wasn't even paying attention to you to begin with. So you can't have your dog follow you. This is like playing a game of follow the leader right now. If he takes off and takes the lead right away, you already lost. So you're better off. And now that's what I do in the beginning stages. Okay. Is work on things like takeoff. So that was a pretty good takeoff. But right there, instead of just popping the leash and telling him to slow down, I am telling him, calm down. That's the really important thing in the beginning of this, and teaching your dog loose leash healing is showing them why is pressure turning on? Because I'm too hyper. Why does it turn off? Because I calm down. That's how you're going to get your dog to walk calmly with you and start to understand pressure and release. Now, once they understand what pressure and release means, you'll be able to add pops to, instead of say calm down, you can say pay attention as well. Yep. Right, so right there I said pay attention. Right? I didn't need him to do a full-on calm down. I'm going to right now because if I do more than... My apologies, my phone shut off. So as I was saying, though, we were just walking past that. We just did a lot of stops rather than too many pops. You want to do a lot more stops in the beginning. But yeah, as you can see, once you get a nice little groove going and once you really understand how the tool works and how you're going to communicate with Zoro, his healing is going to be perfect. He looks great already. After just a few days, he's already understanding what pressure and release means. He's sitting really quick, so all of that looks great. Zoro. Zoro. Hey, Zoro. Good boy. Okay, yep. Alright, so we're just doing lots of showing him that we only move forward when it's a loose leash. Once he's really got the idea of that, we clean up the heel a little bit more and make it look a little bit nicer. But as you can see, this is all looking great. Walking with no pressure, just resting on the tips of my fingers. It's really understanding pressure and release, like I said. And this is great. This is exactly what you want your heel to look like. Right there, see he got a little ahead, so I'm going to do things like turns. You never want to just keep going in a straight line because that's going to be really hard to get your dog to focus on you just by using pops. You need to do things to keep your dog actively watching you as a handler. So we're just doing a lot of stops, pop. You have stop, pop, and change directions. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, he's doing a fantastic job. This is really great, really on point for, just a few days into training. And over the next couple of weeks, he is going to look better and better each day. So super proud of all of Zoro's progress. He's doing a great job. He's a great, smart little puppy. So stay tuned. And if you guys have any questions, give us a call. If anybody else needs help with their dog, remember, how does your dog act? Have a good one, guys.